So now let's install this software. So once you download the archive, so just extract it and here you get the software. So now let's install this. Click on next. I agree, and it will be installing this software into C drive. So that's okay. Let's click next. It installs all these drivers. That's why do not uncheck these things. So these are needed. Let's hit install. It's very simple. So now the installation is complete. Let's click next, and after that click on finish. So in this lecture, let's understand installation of GNU compiler collections for host. That means we are going to install the GCC compiler for host. So note that the STM32Cube IDE, which we installed in the previous video, is an integrated development environment software to develop, compile and debug embedded applications for STM32 microcontrollers. So the STM32Cube IDE installation procedure, which we carried out in the previous video, also installed the GCC cross compiler for ARM Cortex-MX processor. So you need not to download any external cross compilers. It is already done. In this course, we are using the same IDE to write and compile C programs for our host machine, that is Windows, Linux and Mac machines. So now we need to install the compiler for our host machine, which doesn't come with the STM32Cube IDE installation. So that we are going to do now. If you are using Linux or Mac, then it is very simple. You just have to run few commands in order to install the GCC compiler for your host. So that I'm going to cover later. But in the next lecture, I'm going to cover how to install GCC for your Windows machine. It is not that straightforward because we use GCC in Windows through a tool called MinGW. MinGW stands for Minimalist GNU Tools for Windows. So it is actually the Windows flavor of GNU tools. So in the next lecture, I will be covering how to install MinGW on your Windows machine. So if you are using Linux or Mac machines, please skip the next video. Alright, so now let's download the MinGW compiler. So basically it's a Google Drive link. Okay, so there you will find a file called ctools.zip. So you need not to sign in or anything. Okay, you can just download that file. So just download this, and once you download this zip file, okay, actually you have to extract that into the C drive of your computer. So here it is, and in ctools you will find two directories, bin and MinGW32. So basically it has all the binaries required to compile and manage the project, C project. So I hope you can do that. And so if you just open the command prompt and if you try to run the GCC command, then it says it is not a recognized command. If you try the remove command, which are essential to clean and build the projects, okay, so but the system says those commands are not recognized, and you may also require to run the make command and it is also not recognized. So all these commands are actually there, the executables are actually there in these folders, okay. So now we have to configure these paths into the system environment variables. So for that, so just type env in the Windows search bar and you will get edit the system environment variables. So just open that. Okay, and go to environment variables, and here go to path, edit, new. So first let's give this path. Okay, so just copy this and you can paste here. Okay, and after that get inside MinGW32, get inside bin and copy this path and click new and paste here. Now click OK, OK, and OK here. Okay, and now let's close this command prompt and let's run the command prompt once again, and now type GCC and it recognizes the command. Okay, it says GCC is recognized. I mean it may throw this error, but that's not a problem. So the Windows recognized that command. Okay, similarly you can run rm or make. Okay, so now everything is recognized. We have successfully installed the GCC command, which is required to compile our C project. Okay. Hey, welcome back to the lecture. So in the previous lecture, we actually installed STM32Cube IDE, and in this lecture, let's download all the source codes of this course and let's import all the projects into the STM32Cube IDE. So this is very important step. I would suggest you to follow this. First, what you do is in your machine, create a folder called Embedded C. You can create it anywhere you prefer. And in that folder, create 3 more folders. The first one is instructor. Here you are going to save the source codes given by the instructor. And then create one more folder called My Workspace, where you are going to develop your applications as you make a progress in this course. And after that, you create one more folder called Downloads, where you are going to keep all the downloaded files or whatever you download, software or whatever you download from the web. You keep that in Downloads. After that, what you have to do is you have to head over to our repository. The repository link is given in the resource section of this lecture. You can just click that. And here click on clone or download and then click on download zip. And you are going to download this into downloads folder. Let's do that. I just downloaded. So now let's extract this. So here you actually have all the source codes of this course. Alright, so after that what you do is you go inside the instructor folder and create 2 more empty folders called host and target. The reason for this is we are going to keep all the projects which we write for our host machine, we are going to keep in this folder. And whatever the projects we are going to write for our embedded target, we are going to keep in this target folder. So create 2 more folders, host and target, and also you should create the same folders under My Workspace also. So here also create host and target. I hope you can do that, and after that what you have to do is you have to launch your STM32Cube IDE. So let's launch it. So here you can see that it is asking you to select a directory as workspace. So what you have to do is you have to go to your Embedded C folder, go inside the instructor, go inside the host and select this path and come here and paste here and now click on launch. So now here you can see that you actually created a Eclipse workspace called host, which is under instructor. So now here you are going to keep all the projects which are written by the instructor for the host. What you have to do now is go to file and click on import. So go to general and here go to existing projects into workspace. Click next. Here you have to give the directory, the root directory. For that, go to Embedded C, Downloads, go to Embedded C Master, All Source Codes, Host. You just give this path. And after that, go back and paste here. And then click Browse. It will automatically select all the projects. And here, click this option. Copy projects into workspace and then click on finish. And after that, click on this icon here, restore. So here you can see that all the instructor projects are imported into your local machine. So here you can close this information center. So now you can also close this build analyzer. Just close that static stack so you can close everything here. Now we will try to compile this. So let me select this first project and try to build this project. And you can see that this project compiles by using a GCC. So, but we have not configured any GCC in this IDE, right? So how it is getting that GCC? Now, the reason for that is in my computer, it has detected some GCC maybe, okay? So if you just right click on that project and if you go to the properties and if you go to the C++ build and if you go to the settings, not settings, go to environment, and here you can see that it has detected MinGW home. So as a result, it is finding the GCC compiler. Now let's try to clean this project. That also works. So for you, it may not be the case. You may see some red cross marks on these projects. So what you do is you have to set your preferences. You have to go to Window and go to Preferences, and here go to C++ and go to Build, okay, and go to Environment. So here you define two variables. That is, the first one is click on Add here. So MinGW home, and set its value to ctools MinGW. Right, so that is our MinGW home. Click OK, and again add another variable, and let's call it as MSys home, and its value is set to this path. Okay, just ctools. Right, and then click on OK, apply and close. So now you go to any project and you just check the project's C++ build and environment section, and the values will be reflected here. Now go to one of these project here. Let's take the first project, expand that, and right click on that project and try to build that project. So this is called compiling. So just try to build and check the console here. So here you can see that it built successfully. The GCC is invoked and the project has been built successfully, and you got the binary. So you should not get any error here. If you want to clean this project, so you can click on clean project here, and it should clean up your project. So that means the binary which is generated got deleted. At least these two activities you should be able to do. So now you just imported all the host projects written by the instructor of this course. Now let's import all the embedded target projects written by the instructor. For that, what you have to do is go to File, go to Switch Workspace, click on Other. Here, instead of host, you just mention the target, or you can go to your embedded C folder, and there you go inside the instructor. And if you go under the host, now you can see all the projects in it. You go under the target, so instructor target. So just copy that and go to your Eclipse and paste here. Launch. This is a new workspace called target, where we are going to keep all the projects of the embedded target. So this is a new workspace called target. Again, the same procedure. Go to File, Import, General, Existing Projects. Next, go to Downloads, Embedded C Master, All Source Codes, go to Target, and inside here go to STM32F407 disk. So these are the projects. Copy this path and then go to Eclipse, paste here, click on Browse and click on Copy Projects into Workspace, and then Finish. And then click on Restore, and then close this, close this. Here you can see that these are the projects which are written for the embedded target. There are more projects to come. So far I have just uploaded these projects into the repository. Let's try compiling. So now let's select one project and then right click on that and click on Build and go to console here, and here you can see that the project is cross compiled, isn't it? So now here you can see that the compiler invoked is ARM None ABI GCC. So that's a cross compiler. So now the code is built for the target. So don't worry, all these things you will learn when you create the project. So the build was successful, and now try to clean that. And the clean was also successful. You can see that the binary got deleted. So now you just imported all the projects created by the instructor. So now the instructor folder has all host projects as well as target projects. So do not change any code in the instructor folder. Why? Because it is given by the instructor. So this is for your reference. So if you have any issues while you're working on the project, then you can come back to this folder and you can check the code, or you can launch the workspace and you can build the code. So, but do not try to change the projects. Do not try to edit this. So you create your own project in the My Workspace folder. So here you create the project for host, and here you create the project for the target as instructed in the course. So for that, let's create two more workspace under host and target. For that, what you have to do is you have to go to the Eclipse again, and again switch the workspace. Switch workspace. Let's click on other, and instead of instructor, now you give my workspace here. That's it. So go to host and copy this path, paste here, launch. This is your workspace for the host. So whenever you want to create a project, you create here. So that will be taught in the course. And after that, let's again create one more workspace for my workspace target. So this is your target workspace. So whatever the project you want to create for your target, you create here as taught in the course. I'm going to close this Eclipse now for a time being. Let's close this IDE and let's go back to our folder. So this is for your reference, and this is your working area. So in the next lecture, let's see how to create a project. I'll see you in the next lecture.